uplifting, refreshing, life-changing. It's Amazing Grace TV. Welcome to Amazing Grace TV. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Today we have all the way from Nigeria, Bishop Fred Okhimamhe. He'll share his life-changing testimony and his book on deliverance.
Grace, oh grace, if it wasn't for your grace, where would I be?
Welcome, Bishop Fred.
Oh, great. God bless you. Thank you.
Right. So, can you share just briefly a little bit of your background?
I want to thank God for this privilege to be on this show today. I got saved in 1973, and the Lord called me in 1975. And it took some years for me to answer the call fully. And that's one of the great things about calling. It's time to be called, time to prepare, it's time to answer the call. I mean, to yield to the call.
Yep. And
I started, by the grace of God, with an outreach ministry. The body was to reach my people with the gospel, because when God called me, He told me three things He wanted to do for Him. One, to reach out to unreached souls. Two, to be the saints. Three, to raise up leaders for Him. And He's sending me to Auchi. That was another strange thing about God's calling on me. So, but by God's divine arrangement, I came into Auchi community, began the outreach ministry. For 7 years, I was in outreach ministry. Now, in 1989, I started a church. And the church today, we are preparing for our 20th anniversary in the next few weeks, months to come.
Wow.
And our church is called Living Gospel Church. I have a Bible college called Victory Bible Training Institute. Somehow, God be very faithful. And I lectured for some years too in those days. When I used to, before I answered the call fully, I was lecturing and also pastoring. But 1996, I had to drop the chalk for the gospel. It pays to serve God.
Wow, it
today.
definitely does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Bishop Okhimamhe, can you share the vision of your ministry and the impact of your apostolic calling?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, when I started as an evangelist. I thought I was an evangelist. That's my own pursuit. And I was ready to die doing the work until one day I was shocked. I was in a meeting, God spoke through a prophecy about my call as apostle. I ignored it. Somebody came again and said, Fred, you're the apostle. I ignored it. The third one, I was shivering. God sent a young man to me that said, God sent me to you. I said, send you to me? What is it? He said, God said, you're an apostle. You've not been doing my job. That I should go back to the apostle of old and study what they did. And I was shivering because I spent 7 years in the bush, in the villages, in towns, doing crusades. And God said the work is not enough. I said, my God, I want to do your will. I want to fit into what you come to do. And the moment I said, God, I surrender to the apostolic grace of the ministry. Now, that's another issue. A lot of people does not even know what is involved to be an apostle. Title is, we have title apostle. We have call apostle. Call apostles are known by the grace of God upon their life and what they're doing. And sincerely, the impact of these apostle things, let me talk about the local level in Nigeria. Apart from the grace to open churches, which I have, about 15 churches I have, the Bible college involved training of leaders. I've been ordaining a lot of ministers, a lot of overseers under my covering, as a father, as a mentor to them. And I've been there for a lot of ministers. I've been there. That's the passion. The vision of apostle is not about your church. It's about the body of Christ. That's when anywhere I go, whether in Germany, in London, I always think about the body of Christ. What can I do to affect a church, a pastor that is discouraged, to pick him up, encourage him, so I can fulfill his calling. And so the impact is both at local level, where in Nigeria where I'm based, and also at other countries where the Lord have used me to affect, in Ghana, in Togo, the Republic, in Germany, in London, and here in US. I travel a lot and affecting lives.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, the book titled Winning Secrets for Total Deliverance is one of the 10 books you have authored. Tell us why you chose deliverance as the subject of this book.
Like I said, I've been in deliverance ministry for about 25 to 20-something years. And I've been in the heat of the war, in the heat of where there are demons and witchcraft, laboring there. And God taught me a lot of things, which I feel will help the body of Christ. And the only way I can leave behind legacy for the future one, the only way I can empower the future ministers coming is to put this into a book. And this book covered family deliverance, personal deliverance, deliverance of the community, anything you get information you need here on how to do it and how to be able to. And that's the book. And this book has been a blessing to many lives, to many pastors who read it. It helps you to know what to do, how to do it, how to handle it. And so even without me being with you, you can go through this book and it will guide you well to do the job.
Wow. And of course, you speak from experience.
Yeah.
Now, Bishop, for those of us, those out there that don't know what a demon is, what is a demon and how can we and they differentiate between demonic oppression and demonic possession?
Demons are evil spirits or spiritual entities that are evil and that are under the control of Satan and under his control and having a great influence not only on individuals. These demons also have great influence on communities. There are demons that rule over neighborhoods, over boroughs, over counties, over villages, over nations, and over families, over individuals as person. Now, coming back to the issue of, narrowing to the issue of an individual, the issue of, is possible, let me define it, let me put it this way. We can classify about three: possession, oppression, or obsession. Now, possession is a state where a demon indwells somebody living inside, controlling the person against his own wish. That means somebody is under his strong influence, even when you don't want, you think that you are that means the person is possessed with demons. But when the influence of the demonic power is from outside, the demon is not inside the spirit, but it's from outside, then you now know that such oppression, such attacks are what I would refer to as oppression. The obsession is when somebody becomes too overconscious of demons, that you feel demons are everywhere, demons are in the cup, demons are in the chair, demons are in the air, demons are everywhere, and you become too conscious of demons, and that's dangerous. That gives an entrance for evil powers to afflict, and some people suffer a lot under such oppression. So, in other words, with that you can carefully understand the difference between one who is possessed, one who is oppressed, and one who is obsessed with demons. Yeah.
Wow, terrific response. You're teaching me right now. Deliverance is a biblical fact, yet it's also controversial. Why do some Christians simply ignore or deny the influences of demons?
The major reason is because a lot of people grow up with different foundations. Now, let me put it this way. Some grew up with, like we in Africa, in Caribbean countries, in Asian countries, who grew up in houses where there are Buddhas, there are Hindus, we that grow with idols and shrines and things, and we grow up to live and understand that these demons are real. But some people grow up in a Western environment where they never heard about demons, they never experienced anything at all, and they grow up in such an environment. Such person may not be able to conceive the reality about demons. And that's what some of them cannot understand. But like me, like I said, I found myself in such an environment where I have to confront these challenges in my community. And I have to handle a lot of cases of deliverance among the believers who are oppressed and demonized. A lot of unbelievers who are under demonic bondage have been involved in active work. So I know this is real. No matter what anybody say about it, demons are real. They are there. But the issue is the power of Jesus is greater than every power of demons.
Amen.
That's what makes Jesus unique.